what's being done now might not be the same original formula for the glass that it was when when the military was using it, and it freaked out the soldiers so bad they're like, we can't put these on anymore.
Yo, look at this story from NBC News. Rare disorder causes man to see people's faces as demonic. The condition causes faces to appear distorted. My first thought was I woke up in a demon world. Yo, like, what if you did?
Yeah, no, you did.
You mean to tell me that he literally saw people with bat-like pointed ears and stretched out faces and eyes?
You have a pill for that.
Tim, do you know when this article came out?
Don't take it.
There's only 65 side
March
effects.
2024.
This was right around the solar eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
If you watch the music video to Black Hole Sun,
great.
all you see are these weird faces during this eclipse, just like that article. It's very odd.
Maybe he's very sensitive to electromagnetic field changes, and he's seeing it before us.
I can't find anything on this Dionysian blue glass.
They scrubbed it. It's just like how you saw Wayback Machine.
DY.
And all the archives are gone.
NOCIAN, Dionysian.
What is it, DY?
Didn't they prove that like different emotions, like fear, hate, love, like you're putting off a certain frequency at that time, and if those frequencies are changed in the atmosphere, that's what's causing people to, I don't know, go crazy or feel enlightened, like we were talking about before.
Maybe that's why they tested out the 6 foot away from each other.
I see DIONY.
You know, they told everybody to separate.
Could be. It'll be a blue glass.
I thought they admitted they just made it up.
To dial it back real quick and talk about the solar flares before we get into more demon faces, do you think they had anything to do with the cell phone stuff that kept happening? Like just before the hurricanes,
no results
Verizon
for Dionysian
went out, right?
blue glass.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm going to find it before.
A few months ago, there was a huge outage for multiple cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those connected to this? Is that something?
I thought that was supposedly a software glitch.
Is that what that is? Because
that's what they said.
Why I keep thinking about it is because there's articles that keep saying they're warning us for the internet apocalypse. And they're blaming it on
dry
the sun.
runs, bunch of dry runs.
Right,
like
I don't know if the sun can actually.
A lot of people think that, you know, if we do have one of these big flares, that we'll be put back in the Stone Age. Do you know how long it took Elon Musk to put up SpaceX? Those are disposable satellites, low Earth orbit. They don't care if those go down.
Right.
They could just put up another 100 of them in one launch.
Right.
It's just a matter of time before there's a massive blackout.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that it wouldn't be like the end of things. It would be a reset, definitely.
Yeah. They live.
But they could set up all of this stuff really easy now. We've got to where everything's disposable, so they could put up internet in a matter of a week after something like that.
Right.
Yeah, you can buy them.
It wouldn't be for us.
Right.
They're the original chemical formula.
You found them?
I'm sorry, we got into the middle of the conversation. Didn't interrupt there.
You found the glasses?
Rappler says false. U.S. makes dicyanin dye illegal because of supernatural properties. Now the fact checkers confirmed it, so it's.
Wait. The fact check is saying that they won't allow it because you do see ghosts?
No, they're saying
It never happened.
it is false to claim that they've made the dye illegal because of supernatural properties.
I'm saying, was it the original glass production compared to today's modern glass production? You know, you're looking at two different types of production models, levels, and years. So I'm sure what's being done now might not be the same original formula for the glass that it was when the military was using it, and it freaked out the soldiers so bad they're like, we can't put these on anymore.
I remember hearing something about that exact thing there.
Yeah.
But
I see a bunch of TikTok videos about it, but I don't see any articles or anything writing about it. Just this.
They scrubbed it.
U.S. military.
There's viral TikTok videos where they're claiming that, what is it? You see weird things. They made it illegal because people can see the astral plane when placed between two glasses.
Interesting.
So
I mean, it sounds like an easy thing to test, right?
Having to eat anything, I guess.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm looking for a pair. If anybody has them, please, I'll buy them, or you can send them. I want to test.
Well, can you not get? They say it's not illegal. Can you make them? Can we make a pair of these glasses and give
any chemists out there that we could get help?
Right, just get some glass and make them.
So going back to the initial seed of this conversation. Look, I did it too.
Yeah. That's why we tell everybody that wear their headphones. They stop talking to the microphone.
What did you see that might have been anomalies or not anomalies with these storms as they traveled through the into the country? You didn't see any.
I don't think that I saw anything. I mean, I'm really looking. The only thing that I can say is, you know, not to fuel the conspiracy theories, but if you remember in 2020, a hurricane plowed through right at the north part of Florida and Georgia, which put out a bunch of voters at that time. So I think that's kind of feeding this one,
right?
As far as the election thing and anomalies, I don't know, because it didn't take but five seconds to look on the internet and find out several storms, just like Helen. Matter of fact, too, like one in 1916 and another one, I think, in the 50s, did that same path, flooded the same area, not to the extent. But still, I mean, there's pictures of like Asheville, North Carolina, with water up halfway through the stores and stuff. Yeah. So it did happen again. And not only that, I'm a nerd. So I've watched a lot of programs like when I was a kid on PBS and then other stuff. And I used to read, Popular Mechanics and all that stuff when I was a kid. I remember reading about storms that they detected sand from the Gulf all the way up in the upper Ohio River Valley. And then you got to think about civilizations like Cahokia, the Cahokia civilization. They were a big civilization down the Mississippi, flooded out, gone totally. So they had a civilization ending event, and it was probably because of one of these storms.
Do you think a lot of this conspiracy stuff about it, because I believe they can manipulate these storms and perhaps even make them, but do you think we have, as a society, lost trust in anyone who's claim to be the authority in truth?
I do, because I mean, think about it. When you keep hearing fact checks and the authoritative sources, these are the same people that get busted lying over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, so it is hard to believe them when they say, "Hey, we're not doing that." So the weird part is, why did they just come out and say, "Yeah, we are manipulating the weather. We are seeding it"? I mean, that's kind of where I was going. I think that they have a plan to take credit for the weather not, getting super hot and us not going into global warming. And the idea, like, why are they pushing us to extinction levels of CO2? It makes absolutely no sense. What are we at? Like, I think 419 or 420 parts per million. A little less, and we're at extinction levels. I mean, why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense at all. And when you look through like all of the different eras of dinosaurs and all that stuff, CO2 skyrocketed, it's warm, plants are everywhere. That's good. Why would we be fighting that? People die from the cold. They're not really dying from the heat.
Right.
7,000 parts per million was the Cambrian time.
So there's a bunch of these dicyanin glasses. But like, it's all just, well, I've been trying to find to buy them, right?
I know, right?
And they're like $10.
An original pair with the original dye in it. Not the knockoffs that are being made now. There's a huge difference in the glass itself.
So apparently, it's I'm reading any chemist can easily synthesize the dye and make them, with relative ease. And so,
again, a call to any chemist out there.
Watching,
I know there's at least one that watches our shows.
All right, one thing I want to say real quick is, Tim, you brought this up earlier, is that, okay, so they've admitted the cloud seeding, the weather manipulation, stuff like that. That should be just a done deal. Like, there should be no argument anymore. There's people still out there that believe we're not seeding clouds. That planes aren't doing this.
It's not that they've admitted cloud seeding. It's that there's initial publications in universities going back to the 50s, the late 40s. It's just that there are people who don't want to believe things or don't want to admit it. But I'll tell you right now, all the fact checks on whether the government controls the weather, because people are talking about the hurricanes, outright say, like, we do cloud seeding. It's crazy to me that there are people who are like, you can't cloud, like, they don't make it rain and blah blah. When even like Wired magazine is like, yes they do. They just don't control hurricanes. Cloud seeding is a normal basic thing that's done by countries all over the planet.
Well, that's kind of where I was going. A lot of people are on the laser thing now. Well, they shoot a laser in it, seeds the clouds. The sun does that constantly.
It's not that simple.
And they don't have the power of the sun. So they might be able to seed like a small area like that.
Kellen?
Right.
29? No, please continue.
No, I was going to say they might be able to seed a small area, maybe in an area that they think, like you said, they might even be using AI and algorithms to figure out the best place to seed it if they were
laser-induced cloud seeding has been around for a while.
Yeah,
and it was never a big deal. When they started using infrared lasers to I forgot what they do. They converting particles or something to create density, which attracts water.
Dr. Michio Kaku explained it on the Today Show.
And then the electrons.
I read about this like 14 some odd years ago, and it was like a science magazine, like Popular Science, being like, "Hey, look what we're doing."
Right.
So the idea that anybody's going to act like it's not real is just an absurdity. The question is the scale of the ability. Can we use a high-powered laser to make it to cloud seed in a small area? Yeah. Can we move a hurricane? And so again, the fact checkers are saying, yeah, we do cloud seeding. Yeah, we have lasers. Yeah, we have all that stuff. Like everyone agrees, you can't make or move a hurricane.
I don't think you can either. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think it's too big. It's out of their control.
30 miles wide, the amount of energy. It's like when Trump talked about nuking a hurricane, they're like, you can't. The amount of energy in a nuke is you would need like 1 million nukes or 100,000, some ridiculous number.
Well, this brings up a good point because I gave a video that we might have up that we can watch. It's by Dane Wingington. He explains how he spoke to representatives in North Carolina, in Tennessee, and explained to them what his theories are on geoengineering, and they are all backing him. Like, he's on film saying this, that he spoke to these officials. They believe that this storm was manipulated and enhanced to flood out parts of this area.
Well, like I said, I'm not saying that they can't manipulate stuff. I just don't think
Right.
they can manipulate it on that scale.
Right. Well,
Did he say why?
he explains why in the video. Absolutely.
Is it the lithium stuff, or
What's that?
is it for like the lithium deposits, or?
He doesn't mention lithium, but he's going in that direction. He's basically saying that this was done on purpose, and he spoke to the officials and representatives of those areas, and they agree with him.
Right.
They're like, yes, we absolutely agree with
This
this.
is like a weird thing because like I'm on this side of that I don't think they could control that. But then you remember the arguments about the lasers starting fires,
Right.
And some people I
Much
really
sense
respect.
caught that happening in real time.
Well, this is the thing is I've been on that subject for a long time, particle weapons, stuff like that. And I literally read a thing from the Air Force Times where the Secretary of the Air Force was bragging that they had them small enough to mount on trucks and
Yes,
different things. So
yes.
the idea that they couldn't start a fire in the right, it would be the same thing as like cloud seeding. You would pick the right spot where the wind's blowing towards the town, and then you just have to zap a couple fires. So I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm just saying that is more plausible to me than steering a hurricane.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.